or like your previous school or CCAs?
Sure. Okay, so I'm Vincent. I'm 22 this year. So I was from Niam Poly I graduated back in 2020 lah. So I already ORD from NS.
Okay.
And then my hobbies include playing basketball, watching anime, and I also collect figurines. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay. Can I ask, what are your current commitments like in school and outside of school?
Current
And
commitments.
how do you intend to like balance them?
Okay, so for current commitments, for LSIPs I signed up for I Remember as well as NHS lah. So my NHS interview is actually tomorrow.
Okay.
And then outside of school, I don't really have much commitments lah actually.
Okay. Can. Okay, then maybe a question about your commitments. Like, how do you deal with stress arising from your commitments? So let's say like you have an exam coming up, then like we have a lot of I Remember stuff to do. So how will you deal with it?
So how would I deal with stress? Is it?
Yeah, in general lah.
In general, so I think usually what I will do is like if I feel really stressed out, I will like take some time off, to like some alone time lah. Then I'll like listen to music and just like rest a bit. And then other than that, I would also maybe like go out with friends for like a quick game of basketball. I think that really helps me relax lah and like de-stress a bit.
Okay, can. Yeah, so but then the problem is still there, like you're facing like a lot of workload. So what will you do about it? Yeah.
So I think it's like very much how you prioritize your commitments and like so if something that like for example if exams, so I believe that exams is really more important like in the long term lah. So if it's like near exam and like I have like still have backlog or like haven't really revised for the exams, I think that will be like one of my main priorities. And then for example if I'm in any projects and if I'm in like the committee of like a project which has like a big event coming up and it's like part of my committee, I think that will be like my second priority lah. So getting everything done for that. And then other than that, I think other stuff comes next lah. Like apart from like those two, which I feel that is like one of the main top priorities.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. So why do you choose to join I Remember over other projects?
So I think I resonate greatly with the cause of Project I Remember, which is to promote like the primary and secondary prevention of dementia as well as geriatric depression, and also to promote like public awareness and education on like dementia as well as caregiver burnout. And so I also am interested in like serving the elderly population because with Singapore's aging population and like the increased prevalence of like mental health issues in like elderly, especially due to like COVID-19. I think this is a population that I'm generally like interested to serve in lah. And I also feel that like dementia is like, even though it's like very prevalent in our society, I say like because like from the stats that I've seen, like 1 in 10 elderly who are above 60 actually suffer from dementia. But I feel that like in family settings, like it's still very difficult to a very difficult topic to talk about lah, yeah. And it's very difficult to bring it up because like there's still a certain element of like stigmatization, I feel like. So like the elderly might be afraid like to talk about like dementia because they are afraid that like, and they're also afraid to go for checkups lah, I feel like, because like if they do go for the checkup and then they do get diagnosed, then they might like they're afraid that if they have loved ones, they might abandon them or like, they won't really care for them, Yeah, and especially and also if like they're alone, so they don't really have the means to go for these checkups lah. Yeah, so that's why I resonate greatly with the cause. And then so for me, personally, I have an aunt who suffers from like mild dementia, and we found out that because that time she was diagnosed with like a tumor, and then she went for chemotherapy lah. And then like after the chemotherapy, then we found out that she actually has like mild cognitive impairment, and then like she will have like short-term memory loss, like so. Like I will be conversing with her, and then she will like first start off by asking like, oh, chapa, then I'll be like, yeah, chapa already lah, I ate already. Then after that like we will like start conversing a bit. Then like 5 minutes later, then she'll ask me the same question like, oh, chapa, then I'm like, oh yeah, I ate already, yeah. So that's when we found out lah. And then I feel that I've also experienced like caregiver burnout because like my cousin is her main caregiver, and so like during the periods when like after she went for treatment or chemo, then like when she came back, like the symptoms would be more prevalent lah, and then he would have to take care of her for for the whole day, and then she would have like limitations like in doing like simple daily stuff such as going to the washroom. And then so I felt that it really took a toll on him lah, as I could see from like his mood swings and like his how he felt like very fatigued yeah, and so that is one of the main reasons why I want to join Project I Remember, as well as to connect with more people who have like the same interests and then to build a family together.
Okay, thanks for sharing. Okay, maybe I'll ask you, what's your understanding of our project? Like what do we do? Like what have we done and what we are planning to do?
So I've read that in the last AY, you all have done Core Pals, which is the tele-friending with like the elderly because of COVID-19 and stuff, so you couldn't like really interact much with them. Then you all also had the iDialogue, which was the sharing from the different professionals on like the dementia, caregiver burnout, and geriatric depression, as well as the last one would be the. And there was one more, I can't really remember, but I think it was like. Oh, it's the social media outreach, correct? So it was the Instagram post on like the caregiver burnout and stuff lah. And then so for this AY, there will be door-to-door pubs, so to promote awareness on like dementia and also on the exhibition and screening, which is the next tool. So the exhibition which will have booths which will have different topics on like dementia and the geriatric depression, as well as a health screening to potentially identify those who are at risk who have higher results which are of concern, which we will then refer them to either the relevant community health partners or to the final like project for this AY, which is the Healthy Minds program, which is the 8-week program.
Okay. So what prior experience do you have that will help in our project?
For me, during my NS time, I actually volunteered in the clinic for like migrant workers. So it's like a volunteering clinic So it's like all the doctors and all the like people who work in the clinic are all actually volunteers. So I was in charge of like taking the vitals like blood pressure and whatnot, and like finding out more about the migrant worker brothers who come. So we will find out like why they are here to see the doctor, and I feel that it's easy for me to like communicate with strangers I feel, and so I feel like this will help in like when I'm communicating with the elderly Yeah.
Okay. Then, how do you think we can improve our current initiatives that we have?
How we can improve? I feel like, okay, so like for screening, I understand that PHS and NHS has actually created an app, right, like a phone app. So I feel that maybe if Project I Remember can also create an app, it will be good. So, and not only for like screening purposes, we can also incorporate other elements such as like the iDialogue, we have the talks, right? Maybe we could like video the talks down or like and then put it inside the app so that for reference, like future reference, if any of them ever need. And also maybe like for caregivers, maybe you can have like quote of the day or whatnot for them to like look at it, maybe distress a bit, and also could help in the Healthy Minds program. I feel with the app, maybe for like indication of interest for that particular week, whether you're coming down or whatnot. And other than that, maybe we let me think. Maybe the follow-up section could also have some parts dedicated to like caregivers as well, and not just the elderly. So like when we reach out to the elderly, we could also reach out to their caregivers and then like see if they actually require any support or any referrals to any health partners or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay, maybe last question I'll ask is like, what's your working style like? Like how do you work with others?
How I work with others? So, more or less I'll try to get to know them as a person first, like to see like our compatibilities and like if we have any interests and I will generally try to like not really like if someone has a very big personality or someone who likes to take charge, I will just let him take charge and like not say that I will be very passive or like not want to voice out my opinion, but generally I don't really like to be that guy. So if there's a bigger personality, of course he can go ahead and take charge because I feel that if that's his strength, then obviously he should use it lah. So for me, I feel that I'm not that kind of guy, but I'm more of like the behind the scenes hardworking kind of guy. So I will like prepare all the stuff and ensure that everything is like smoothly run and flows nicely lah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks for sharing. Okay, I think now we'll be moving on to the com specific questions. Yeah, so from my understanding, you put ops logs as first choice.
Yes, correct.
And follow up as second choice. And so maybe Kathleen will be asking the sub questions.
Okay.
Kathleen, so I'll be asking you some questions. What is your understanding of ops and logs?
So my understanding of ops and logs is like the planning of the exhibition as well as the screenings, as well as ensuring that the flow of both of these events are like run smoothly or done smoothly lah. And then for the log side of things is just gathering all the logs for the different events and then also liaising with the sponsors lah for the events.
Do you have any prior experience with organizing similar events?
No, I actually don't have. Yeah.
So I think you mentioned just now that you read up about our online conference last year. Do you have any suggestions on integrating our online conference into our physical exhibition that we are holding this year?
Yeah, that was actually what I was thinking about as well. So like instead of just having booths, we could have like a main stage where like we could invite some of the speakers or some of the professionals over to like hold like something similar to the iDialogue last year lah. So that we like have like your whole talks that the general public can just like sit down and listen to when they visit the exhibition.
Okay, so I'll give you one scenario. You are supposed to give one goodie bag to each participant at the exhibition. One elderly participant takes 5 bags right in front of you. How would you react?
I would definitely stop him from doing so, and I would tell him that the goodie bags are like one person each kind of thing, so he should just take one for himself and then like leave the other bags. But if I will also try to find out the reason for him taking 5, is it because he actually wants the stuff inside, or is it because he is like taking it for his friends who have came along with him? And so yeah, I'll try to find out the reason.
Can you share an experience when things did not go to plan? For instance, in CIP projects, and how you resolve these last minute problems?
CIP projects.
Or any other projects that you've done?
Can I use like okay, so I used to play like Brawl Stars, right? Okay, yeah. So I was playing. I was like semi-professional esports Brawl Stars player. So I was the captain of my team lah. So we were preparing for a competition during the time, and then so one of our teammates last minute he decided not to compete with us. Yeah, so we were like scrambling to find a replacement, and then I think like it's just about keeping calm in the situation and like assessing like my potential avenues out lah, because like it was really last minute like, and my team and I were like scrambling, like because like the next day it was the competition already. So in the end I think like I reached out to a few people and eventually I found a replacement lah, like last minute. And the competition went well lah, so we progressed to the next round.
Thank you for sharing. I have one more scenario for you. A speaker is uncontactable on the day of the conference and his slot is coming up in less than half an hour. What do you think we can do? So for example, suggest some contingency plan.
I feel that okay, in this case maybe maybe we could invite some of the volunteers present, or maybe some of the com members as well, who could give their own personal sharings, personal anecdotes, to just keep to ensure that someone is there on stage lah, because it's not very nice if like we already planned out something during that time period and then even though the presenter doesn't show up, but we could. So my first thought would be to get the volunteers and com members to just share some stuff, share like maybe their personal experiences or anecdotes, and if not, we could also. Maybe you could hold like a Q&A session as well, I guess. If that doesn't work out, if there's not enough people or there isn't enough time, we can hold like a Q&A session with maybe the previous speakers as well. It doesn't have to be us, it could be the other professionals as well.
Yeah, I just have one last question. Can you drive and do you have a car?
I cannot drive, yeah. I'm going to learn soon, but yeah, I can't drive.
Okay. That's all from me.
Okay. Hi, I'm Evangeline. I'm from FU. So, what is your understanding about FU and why do you want to join us?
So follow-up, I feel it's like the sustainability portion of the project I remember. So like after the screening, then follow-up will screen, like we will look through the results of the elderly who went for the screening and then like identify those who are potentially at risk or are of concern lah. Yeah, and then follow-up also does select the modalities, is it, for the screening? So like, is it what tests that are going to be done during the screening? Yeah, and then the follow-up is also responsible for the referrals to the relevant health communities as well as to Healthy Minds.
So actually what you say is correct, that we are quite involved in the planning of Healthy Minds which is the 8-week program as you mentioned previously. So if you were in charge of planning this Healthy Minds program, what are some important aspects that you think you need to look for?
Important aspects would be, I guess, firstly the willingness of like how we can encourage the elderly to sign up for the program. That will be first. Then we will take into consideration like the location and venue of the program, because some of them might have like mobility issues, so it might be hard for them to travel down to like places which are far for them. Then we need to ensure that the activities are like engaging, the classes are engaging as well, and that caters to like a diverse population of elderly.
Okay, so now I'm also going to give you a few scenarios about Healthy Minds and the screening that we're going to hold. Okay, so first about Healthy Minds. So basically this volunteer A was paired up with Uncle Tan for the 8-week duration of the program, and they actually formed quite a good bond. But now the program has come to an end, and Uncle Tan, who used to text volunteer A very actively, finds that volunteer A is no longer replying to his texts, and as a result he is quite upset about it. So this actually raises the question of how sustainable our program is and how much benefit it really brings to the elderly, given that it's only run for a short period of time. So given that this issue is faced, do you have any ideas or suggestions to make it more sustainable?
So maybe to make it more sustainable, maybe we could try to like incorporate some of the stuff from like last year's core pals, I guess, which is like continuation. So from the at the end of the 8 weeks, like we can have like weekly phone calls like what we all did last year in core pals. I think that will ensure at least some sustainability in some sense. And other than that, like if the volunteer really is very busy and can't engage in such weekly phone calls, maybe we can hold like monthly or bi-monthly like meetups, like to encourage like the volunteers to like actually find some time to at least meet up, or like text, like even if you can't meet up, like at least try to text the elderly to like show some care and like ask them how they're doing and stuff like that. Yeah.
So So the next scenario is about the screening that we're gonna hold. So you are a volunteer at the results booth lah, and while trying to explain some of the screening results that we found to the elderly suddenly breaks down. So what will you do?
I think first I will stop explaining further, and I will definitely try to console him, first give him some time to gather his emotions, and just try to find out like his concerns, like why he actually did break down, and like try to see how we might be able to help him by like referring him to any support groups or anything, and yeah, just basically trying to find out the main reason why he broke down.
And so if you feel that this elderly needs to actually be referred to one of the partner organizations that you have, but because he's already very like emotionally like charged, right? He like doesn't want to like cooperate, he doesn't want to be referred anywhere. Yeah. So what will you do to encourage this elderly to give consent?
I think it will be good to let him calm down a bit first so that he's not very emotional, and then try to persuade him by telling him like that would be what is best for him, and like try to like think in his shoes like maybe like why is he like resisting, or why is he hesitant to be deferred, and then like try to look at it from his viewpoint to understand more, and then eventually by like telling him, like talking to him nicely, persuading him, we hope to be able to refer him to the community health partner.
Okay, so the next question is just for fun, for FU to get to know you better lah. So you can just answer casually and like no pressure. Yeah. So can you show us your hidden talent? If you don't have any, can you just let me know as well?
Hidden talent. Actually, don't really have
Don't
it.
really have. Okay, no problem.
Brawl Stars.
Can.
How many trophies you have in Brawl Stars?
I don't know, I quit quite long ago.
Oh.
Yeah, because I shifted to play ML when
So much your ML, right?
MG lah.
Wow. Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. So I ask right. Okay. So if you could be a food item, what will you be?
If I could be a food item, what would I be? I would say like, actually I don't know, maybe like durian, maybe because I love durian, and then like it's like sort of like a hate-love relationship lah. So like you can't really please everyone,
Oh, yeah.
but then like to those that who like you, like you will try to please them, and then like to those who don't really like you or don't really get along with you, then it's like okay lor, and then I will still be me lah. Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll be moving on to the roleplay segment, right? So for this roleplay segment, I'll just be giving you a scenario, and then I'll just be conversing with you lah. So I think you indicated in your form previously, like in your sign up form, right, that like the languages that are official in is English and Mandarin, right? But just now we did hear you say some Hokkien words. So
I can understand, but I can't speak I can't speak like well.
okay, though we were just offering you the option if you want to conduct this in Hokkien lah.
No. I can try though, but I mean I.
Okay, we try. You cannot Hokkien, then you can do in Chinese. You can continue in
Okay,
Chinese.
like half, like a
Okay.
bit of Hokkien, a bit of
can
Chinese.
掺a bit, yeah. 可以啊，如果可以，我们就开始。
可以。
OK， 我现在会跟你说那个情形啦。用华语跟你沟通先。好
OK。
所以就是有这个老人 ，right，他就是遇到了一些好像问题啦。他在用他的手机时候，就没有收到信息，所以他就有就是要好像找一个人帮助他啦。所以他看到一个年轻人就过来问你，所以你如果好像 ready 的话，我们就开始啦。Okay, so I'll begin Hokkien first. Okay, hello. 阿妹啊，我哋手機歹了咧，有時 無迄 message 嘅，我用 WhatsApp 嘅時陣無 message 嘅，
按怎看啊 ？OK， so 你會，互我看你嘅手機咧，會使
OK，我互你看。
OK， okay, so actually what's the problem？
我用手機嘅時陣啊，無我嘅囝有時會好像 send 我伊個 WhatsApp message 啊，但是有時我只是看無咧，安怎會安尼看啊？
所以你囝，互你有信息看無，還是我人互你信息看無？
我家己看無。
你家己看無？
啊。
你家己看無啊？
伊講伊 send 了，但是我無收到。
無收到。
啊，安怎你看啊？
是毋是你互伊個電話號碼啥啦？
無咧，但是伊講有可能是伊個data 嘅問題。
data 嘅問題啊 ，data 嘅問題會使我嘅手機有 data， 我會使借互你啦，互你用，then 我借互你用啦，時你會收到伊個信息咯。
哦，等你走了時陣安怎款？毋是無了。
對啊。so 無我找一個來，假如有麥當勞還是啥物，我會使甲你用咱個 WiFi 啦，用 WiFi 你會收到迄個信息咯。
所以我愛用手機嘅時陣收我嘅囝嘅訊息，我愛去麥當勞啦，插 WiFi 啊。
毋是啦，我是講當今啦，
當今。
你是佇厝嘅時候，你有 WiFi 嘛？你會使叫你囝幫你弄迄個 WiFi，就會收到信息咯。
是你會使翕一個視頻無？
視頻會使。
等你 send 互我。
OK，會使。
我是會使哦。
會使。
Okay, I think we'll just conclude it here. I think Hokkien is not too bad.
It's really
Good job. Okay, so then now we'll just be moving into the closing segment. So I'll just be asking you a few questions. So let's say if you are unable to join the top 2 committees that have indicated preferences for, so will you still be willing to join the committee?
So for manpower, I'll still be okay, but I feel like pubs might be a bit of a challenge lah, because like I feel that I am not very artistically inclined lah, so that might be a challenge for me. Yeah, but for manpower, will still be okay.
Okay, and then what other projects will you be applying for?
So it will be NHS. That will be I'll have my interview tomorrow, and other than that, I haven't signed up for anything else yet.
Okay.
I'm still deciding.
Any OSIPs?
OSIPs, no, still deciding. Yeah.
Okay, but at the moment no.
I don't know.
Okay, so let's say because if you're accepted in our com, right, we'll have our first GM next Monday. Will you be free in the evening?
Let me have a look.
Yeah, on the 29th of August.
In the evening? It's okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say just block out the timing if possible because our results will be out by Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then just a follow up from the projects that you've been applying for, right? So let's say you are planning to apply to OSIP, like for example, any OSIPs in mind that you're planning to apply for? Currently. Because you said you're still deciding, right?
Probably like Sotia or Lokun.
Sotia or Lokun. Okay.
These two.
Can. Then maybe just a last one for the memories, right? So we would like to get you to act out your spirit animal. And then we'll take a picture. Yes. Spirit animal like, can be anything.
Anything
Your favorite animal.
You want snail, you come out with a ball down there also can. Hedgehog also, anything.
I guess just like dog. Just
Dog.
like wolf.
Oh, can. You want to take a picture?
Okay, yeah, I take a picture.
Of like I don't know, like
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, just one last point. So just now you mentioned like Sotia or Lokun, right, as possible OSIPs. So let's say you get an OSIP and an LSIP, then which one will you choose? And how are you going to balance the two?
which one will I choose? So meaning like if they conflict, is it?
Or if you get all your choices,
Yeah.
like NHS, I remember every single one except you.
I think it really depends lah, because like if it doesn't clash, then obviously it's okay. But if it clashes, then like I would see like if I'm in the com for like which project lah. Yeah. And then like if it's like ops, which is like very important, then obviously I'll focus on that one lah. Yeah, but if it's just like manpower or whatnot, then maybe like lesser priority. Like so it will be based on like ops logs, then like follow up, and then like manpower, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But will you be able to accept like all three if you get all three? Like will you be able to handle the commitment of all three?
So actually, if I get accepted into 2 L6, then I won't go for a O6 already lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can.
Then I will try to keep it at 2 lah.
Okay. Okay, and also we are like recording the thing, so you're okay, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, can.